A new poll appears to confirm that President Obama's recent immigration reforms are incredibly popular among one of obviously the most affected groups, Hispanics in America. Take a look at these responses. You're seeing there 89% either strongly or somewhat support the immigration reforms that President Obama announced on Friday.
And you would imagine that some of the 21% of the somewhat support are just angry that it didn't go farther.
It could, yes, right. That could very well be the case. Now, important to note here, all of the people polled in this particular poll are Hispanic. So you're seeing, as I said, the most affected group overwhelmingly in support of it. I can't remember the last time I saw 89% support for a policy. And the president not particularly popular in the country right now. Many saw this as a possible attempt to sort of reinvigorate that group going forward. It looks like that might actually be the case.
Yeah, it was an attempt to invigorate that group going forward.
Who are the Latinos?
But thankfully also while doing something ethical.
I don't know, maybe some of the people
like
opposed.
Like I said, could be the group that thinks that it should have gone farther. Could be Cubans in Florida, possibly.
Right. Sure, right. There could be some, and then there are people who are already here who were like, hey, I did it the right way, and screw you for doing it Or
also there are people who believe that the government is controlled by reptilian creatures from space. I mean, there's 8% of the country who believe anything you tell them.
Fewer Latinos oppose Obama's decision here than Americans who think Congress is doing a great job. So I mean,
pretty interesting.
That's like a lemon.
Yeah.
So there you can find 10% of people who will say something completely nuts almost in every situation.
A couple of other important facts coming out of this survey. Hispanics blamed Republicans over Obama and Democrats for the failure of immigration reform leading up to this by a 64 to 24% margin. So very often the American public gets it wrong on who exactly is causing problems in the country. It looks like in this case they largely know.
Same thing. And Steve and I, whatever, we like numbers. So I'm still like, who are the 24% of Latinos who are blaming Democrats for failure?
Well, no, I mean, leading up to this, before the last election, I mean, the fact that they didn't push for this earlier this year, I mean, it could be that they support Obama, they support the Democrats, but they feel like you guys have been waiting so long, you deserve some blame for not having progress. I don't even think that that's incorrect. I think that may be a little bit harsh, but I think they have a point. President Obama could have made this move years ago, especially if he thinks that he doesn't need Congress on his side. Well, why didn't he do this 3 years ago?
Because you make an effort, as he said, to have because it appeared, first of all, for a little bit, that it might actually pass. There was a period of time, and in fact, the theory in the House is that if you actually put it up for a vote, it would pass.
Didn't Marco Rubio introduce legislation that he then vetoed?
He then came. So I mean, there was a period. So you try and do it the right way. But I don't. Of course, you could have done it at a different time, and also they have every right to be against the Democrats because, as we know, President Obama increased deportations from the Bush administration. So it's fair, but nonetheless, it's still, if you're going to blame what party is more with you than against you, that seems pretty obvious.
Yeah, I think the significant number that you guys are missing of these small percentages are the people who weren't wearing their glasses, misunderstood the question, or just, as they're reaching for the answer, they actually move their pen down.
Yeah, or if it depends on how it was taken. All the same. There's got to be some B's in there. Come on. So that's entirely possible. Or again, it could be people who think, well, this is a great change, I suppose. It protects these groups from being deported for 3 years. But in 3 years, we could have, President Ted Cruz. We could have President, Chris Christie. These people could then be deported after 3 years. This is a good move. It's not an amazing move. I expect more of the president who said that he cared about this community. It could be that is leading to some of the opposition.
One more quick note here. 85% of independents and 76% of Latinos who identify as Republicans. So 85% of Latinos and 76% of Republicans also support the move. So it's a broad-based support among Latinos.
It's the most logical thing in the world. And for those people who want to just deport everyone who's not here legally, well, then you should be in favor of massive tax increases because it costs a lot of money to round people up, process them, and then to deport them. So,
Well, then we stopped giving away so much welfare. We still got war. We got war money.
That's right.
Don't be wrong. I don't want to cut it out.
Bomb money.
Yeah.
Money for bombs.
Right. Bomb money. We got the bomb fund, the rainy bomb fund, as I said on Friday, which is a nice little phrase.
So look, obviously the initial returns, I suppose, from the Hispanic community, good for the Democrats. It'll be very interesting to see how much damage the Republicans do to each other in attempting to either defund or in some way legislatively get rid of these reforms in the next few years, a move that, at least in the Hispanic community...
Defund, degrade, deport. That's what Republicans want to do to
a nice
Latinos.
little mishmash there.
Yeah.